Alright guys, welcome back to some more Umineko. We're gonna try to do something a little different this time because I was told to check out the character's description. I honestly thought at the time, even by the description of this thing here, it tells us we may look back upon our sojourn here. And let's get out of there for a minute. Alright, let me stay here so I can still talk for a bit. But yeah, it told us that we can go back and look upon the characters and their descriptions of episode 1. I was like, well, we went through episode 1, so I figured why would I need to go through their character description? We pretty much know the characters. But I was told that it changes over time. I should progress to the episode. So I may need to check that and go back on it and see what's different before I continue on any further. So this is going to be a little grace period from episode 2. And if anything, we're just going to continue on from there. So here we go. Episode 1. Alright, so we'll start off, I guess, with Battler, the son of Rudolph and his first wife, Asumu. Turned against his father 6 years ago when he married his second wife. Immediately after Asumu passed on, he went to live with his grandparents on his mother's side. However, both of these grandparents passed away and he is now returned to the Ushinomiya family after 6 years. This family conference is a chance for him to renew his friendship with his cousins after a 6-year gap. Alright, so this is the human side, and we clicked on Battler. What happens if we click on... Okay, cool. So I'm gonna read up on everyone, see if anything's different. Eva and Hideyoshi's son, George, an affable young man liked by everyone in the family. He is currently studying as an assistant for his father's company, and it seems he dreams of making it on his own one day. The oldest of the 4 cousins, he acts as their leader and arbitrator. I also noticed we got human side, witch side, execute, and resurrect. I don't know what execute and resurrect really mean. I'm gonna find out after I read everyone's thing. Alright, so we got that. We'll read... You know what? I should probably go in the order of the family. So let me go with Battler's family. Move on to George, Jessica, Maria, and the last half. Alright, Ushinomiya Kirie, Rudolph's second wife. They had been business partners for a considerable length of time before the passing of his first wife, at which time she openly took the position. Served as Rudolph's right hand in several shady pieces of business, guiding them to success. Quick thinking and deeply trusted by her husband. Nice, nice. Alright, Ushinomiya Rudolph, Kinzo's third child. Along with his sister Eva, he intends to make his voice heard during the family conference to prevent their elder siblings, Kraus, from keeping all of their father's wealth for himself. Lost his former wife, Asumu, 6 years ago, and married his current wife, Kirie, straight after that. Wait, how quickly after that? I wish that was a little bit more detailed, but that's okay. Alright, Uncle Hideyoshi. Eva's husband took his wife's name upon their marriage and was welcomed to the Ushinomiya family. Therefore, he does not possess the spiteful Ushinomiya genes, and his bright smile is very refreshing at the family conferences. He started his business from scratch and now works as the president of a company operating medium-sized restaurant chains. Apparently, his business is soaring and things are going extremely well. Now more into Eva. Kinzo's second child, hostile towards her brother Kraus and opposes him in almost everything, from issues dealing with the family fortune to the question of who will succeed the family headship. Normally, she would have lost her place in the Ushinomiya register upon her marriage, but she managed to forcibly overcome this by having her husband take her family name. We already know that. We'll go into her later. So now we go into Jessica. Ushinomiya Jessica, Kraus and Natsui's daughter. In the absence of any irregularities, it is thought that she will eventually inherit the headship of the Ushinomiya family, or rather her husband's will. However, she seems to have no interest in all of this, born with weak bronchi and sometimes assailed by sudden asthma attacks. Natsuhi, Kraus's wife, manages the household of the Ushinomiya head family in place of her husband, who takes little interest for this family conference again. She was the one who took charge of making all the preparations and arrangements. Possesses a strong sense of responsibility and a great deal of pride, however, neither her husband nor his siblings understand that her very well, so her position is far from enviable. You know, I think out of everyone, Ava's the only one that gives her a hard time. So far, everyone's been pretty level-headed with her, if anything. Now, this guy, I was never a fan of to begin with. He's just too egotistical in my... At least he comes off as egotistical to me. So far, he hasn't done anything to be all that spiteful, but he's very... You can tell he's very... He's a control freak. Kinzo's first child leads the family conference as the eldest of the 4 siblings. However, the other siblings suspect that he plans to claim the entire family fortune for himself, and the antagonism between him and the others grows increasingly severe. A real estate investor, he has put a vast amount of money into the development of a resort. However, his results have been harshly criticized. And now we move on to the father himself. Ushinomiya Kinzo, the aged head of the Ushinomiya family, brimming with energy despite being pronounced to have only a short time left to live, amassed a vast fortune but has never made any announcement about his inheritance, which worries his children. Strongly influenced by the West and a rabid fan of the occult, his study is packed with mysterious grimoires. Okay, moving on to Maria and further down. Ushinomiya Maria, Rosa's daughter. Her father's identity is unknown. She can't shake off the habit of speaking like a young child, which often earns her a scolding. She has no interest in studying or making friends, but is very interested in things concerning the occult and black magic, and thanks to her excellent powers of memorization, she knows all kinds of obscure trivia. And now the mother. Kinzo's 4th child, by far the youngest of the 4 siblings. It seems that this gives her a weaker position at the family conference. She manages a design company, but she has yet to start taking it seriously, and its financial situation is far from favorable. Ah, the doctor. Nanjo Terumasa. Kinzo's attending physician and longtime friend, once ran a hospital in Nijima, but turned it over to his son and now enjoys his old age in peace. One of the very few people that Kinzo trusts now that he's held captive by an unrelenting suspicion of others. Big-hearted by nature, he has maintained a long friendship with Kinzo, unperturbed by his tendency to fly into a rage at the slightest provocation. Yeah, he's a very, he's a laid-back fella. This one here, I have suspicions about. She is very... I mean, there are times when she's laid back and there are times when she is rightfully scared. But there are other aspects about her that concern me. But maybe she's just a regular person. Alright, Kumasawa Chiyo. This elderly woman is a part-timer who has served the family for a great many years, despite quitting her job several times along the way. Shrewd and more than competent when it comes to performing her duties, but because of her chattiness and love of rumors, she is highly regarded as a servant. No, she is not highly regarded. No, I don't like this guy either. Goda Toshiro, servant employed as a chef. While he hasn't served the family long, he has a polished talent for entertaining guests, cultivated through his previous jobs, and is highly regarded as a servant. Since he was hired by Kraus and his wife, he is more trusted than those servants who have served the family longer and who are thought of as Kinzo spies. Okay. And Kanon. I did not know he was wearing shorts, or something close to shorts. A young servant performs his duties silently and diligently, but due to his unsociable nature, he is not so highly regarded as a servant. There are several other servants with the On character in their pseudonyms. He and Shannon just happen to be the ones on duty that day. And now Shannon. A young but experienced servant, she's normally calm and performs her job flawlessly, but she messes up when she gets nervous. Furthermore, Shannon is nothing more than a pseudonym that she uses when on duty, not her real name. Yeah, we so far learned that her real name is Saya. Ah, I like Genji also. Head servant leading all the other servants who work for the Ushinomiya family, has served Kinzo longer than any other, and has earned his greatest trust. Since he serves Kinzo directly, Kraus and Natsu think of him as Kinzo's spy. Okay, so now that we got the human side, we're gonna now start with Battler. Maybe we should start with the people that died first and then move on. So, starting with the main family of episode 1, we'll start with Kirie. Let's execute. Ushinomiya corpse found inside the Rose Garden storehouse. Her face seems to have been smashed after her death. She was chosen by the demon's roulette. That's all there is to it. Interesting. Oh wait, nope. Start with the husband then. Execute. Aha! Corpse found inside the Rose Garden storehouse. His face seems to have been smashed after his death. He has the right to lament his ill fortune. Let's kill this guy off. Found in the bathroom of the same guest room that Ava was found in, with a weapon resembling an ice pick having been rammed into his forehead just the same as Ava. You can't see either of them by looking through the gap of the door while the chain is set. Can't see and can't reach. Go on. Could a human have killed them then? Hee 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 hee. See, that laugh is very, if I didn't know any better, I would think that was Maria. Alright, let's check out the death of this one here. Found on the bed of a guest room inside the mansion with a weapon resembling an ice pick having been rammed into her forehead. The windows and doors to the room were locked from the inside and even the chain was set. No way could a human have killed her. That's true. I still have my suspicions that Maria had something to do with this. Alright, so this guy died too. Corpse found inside the Rose Garden storehouse. The direct cause of death is unknown, but it seems the side of his head was smashed after his death. We start where it all begins. This guy died too. Disappeared from his study unnoticed. Kinto's study has everything from a bed to a toilet to a bathtub, so it is extremely rare for him to go outside. However, he does sometimes go out for a walk on a whim without telling anybody, which on several occasions has led to a huge uproar throughout the house. He usually comes back as soon as he gets hungry. Usually. So, to take it, he stepped out for a walk after the day after the supposed day, the first night, the first twilight. Alright, and we know this guy died too. Found in the parlor with a weapon resembling an ice pick having been rammed into his thigh and his face smashed. On the 7th twilight, gouged the knee and killed. She died as well on that day. Corpse found inside the Rose Garden storehouse. Her face seems to have been smashed after her death. I'll be seeing her again, so I'm not lonely. Who are you seeing again? Your daughter? Okay, so the rest of these people here died as well. So, let's see what happened to her. Found the parlor with a weapon resembling an ice pick having been rammed into her calf and her face smashed. On the 8th twilight, gouged in the leg and killed. This guy died early with them. Rose Garden, face seems to have been smashed after his death. How unfortunate. Apparently, he was actually supposed to be on duty in the guest house. Shannon died early too. It seems the side of her head was smashed after her death. Don't worry, everyone will revive in the Golden Land. This guy died early too. Found in the parlor with a weapon resembling an ice pick having been rammed into his stomach and his face smashed. On the 6th twilight, gouged the stomach and killed. We know how he died. With a weapon resembling an ice pick having been rammed into his chest, he was found in the boiler room. How presumptuous for furniture. Okay, so now we're gonna go in this particular order now. Found shot to death in front of the witch's portrait. Yep. How impudent of her to challenge a witch with nothing but a mere gun. Of course she'd end up like this. Hee 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 hee. Once again, I'm off the belief this is Maria. And there's also the whole thing, now that I think about it, if I remember correctly, during the end credits scene, I think Maria was the one writing a letter. And in that letter, she was like hoping someone would figure out the clues, the epitaph. So she's the only one left alive, which also could explain and possibly make her the #1 suspect for killing Natsuhi. Again, I could be wrong, but I'm not liking that ki-hee-hee. The ki-hee could also be the witch. But I'm more in line to think it's Maria. Alright, so now we'll go into how everyone else died. Alright, what happened to George when he died? He's missing. Even though he was finally reunited with everyone and all were getting along so well in the Golden Land, all of the magic was spoiled thanks to a stubborn idiot. Ah, we're talking about Battler. Afterwards, he was chewed to the bone by demons and went to hell. Wow. Okay. What happened to you? Missing. Even though she was given a precious invitation to the Golden Land, a single idiot refused to believe in the witch and all of the magic went away. Afterwards, she was chewed to bits by demons and went to hell. So, we're off the belief this is all Battler's fault now. Okay, what happened when Battler died? The fool who spoiled the world where everyone could have been happy. Beatrice is very angry, but for some reason she looks like she's having a lot of fun. Almost as if he's the first fun new toy she's had in 1,000 years. If only this idiot could just hurry up and see you like the rest. Now, it's funny because outside, as a reader, and reading all this and seeing what I've seen so far, magic does exist. If only because even this, like right here, everyone went to the Golden Land. How do you explain that? Purgatory? Possibly. And even then, it has a supernatural feel to it. There's no way that this is all staged by real people. I mean, even if it was, how do you explain the purgatory aspect, you know? I'm still curious about what happened to Kihihi girl over here. Execute. She did not die, obviously. Oh, she did die. Wait, what? She wrote a letter, didn't she? Or I might have to go back into episode 1 and see that end credit scene, because I'm pretty sure she wrote a letter. Alright, what about you, witch? The Golden Witch, who has lived for 1,000 years, she has already surpassed the limits of humans, and it is said that she will appear in response to human summons, just as demons do, to lend them her power for a price. Likes black tea and ice cream, hates boredom and those who deny her existence. So she hates boredom and hates Battler. Good to know. Now, what happened when she died? Wait, isn't she on the witch side? Why is she here? Alright, whatever. Execute. It is futile for a human like yourself to dream of killing me. Even if you fire bullets at me, they will merely bounce back as though by a mirror and strike you down. However, there is one single way to kill me. You grasp this method in the palm of your hand. I doubt a mediocre fool like you could ever do it. Of course. Kihihi. Okay, so I could also believe that it's both her and Maria that killed everyone. Every time I see this, I'm like, I don't trust either of that. Wait. Execute. There you go. Burned in the incinerator with a weapon resembling an ice pick having been rammed into his forehead, the old mage's wish scattered, ungranted. This is but one possible result of the gamble he always knew was not in his favor. Okay, now that we went over everyone alive, and then what happened to them when they were dead, let's see what happens when they were resurrected. Let's start with the family again. Resurrect. Rudolph's second wife. They had been business partners for a considerable length of time before the passing of his first wife, at which time she openly took the position. Shady pieces of business guiding them to success, quick thinking, and deeply trusted by her husband. Resurrect. Kinto's third child, we know this. Along with his sister, Ava, he intends to make his voice heard. Resurrect. I think the resurrect only works on the people that were in the Purgatory Tea Party scene, so that's why no one here is having any new information thus far. Normally she would have lost her place in the Ushiomiya family register upon her marriage. Yep, I read this already. Okay, so let's revive the whole family first, and then we'll get to the kids. Yep, same thing. Possesses a strong sense of responsibility, a great deal of pride. However, neither her husband nor his siblings understand her very well. Yep, I read this part. Alright, let's revive everyone. Wait, let me make sure there's nothing new. Okay. Disappeared from his study. Okay. Okay, the Golden Witch who has lived for 1,000 years, she has already surpassed the limits of humans. Oh, I read that already too. Okay. Excuse me. Shrewd and more than competent when it comes to performing her duties, but because of her chattiness and love of rumors... Okay, I read that too. I'm just checking to see if there's anything else new for these other characters besides the main ones. Alright. We should find something with Kanon now. Okay. A young servant performs his duties silently and diligently, but due to his... Yep. There are several other servants with the on character. Alright. So far, nothing new on his thing. It's nothing more than a pseudonym. Okay, so nothing new on that end. Kinzo directly Kraus. Okay. Okay, I'm just checking if there's anything new. Alright, Battler, anything new with you? Okay, the son of Rudolph, yeah, turned against his father. This family conference is a chance for him to renew his friendship with his cousins after a 6-year gap. The oldest of the 4 cousins, he acts as their leader and arbiter. Yep, nothing new. I thought there would be something new when I resurrected. Born with a weak bronchi. Alright, so everyone's resurrected. Let's check out the witch side. We only got these 2. Burn Castle, the Witch of Fragments, who has lived for 1,000 years. It is said that she lives in a world where concepts like fate and possibility can be made visible. Observes the fates of humans and sometimes interferes. In other words, sometimes she is you, and is also your only friend. Understand? Likes wine and spicy foods, hates boredom, and those who never learn. Wow, let me read that again. Hold on. Witch of Fragments, who has lived for 1,000 years. It is said that she lives in a world where concepts like fate and possibility can be made visible. Okay, I get that. Observes the fates of humans and sometimes interferes. I get that too. In other words, sometimes she is you. That confuses me. Okay, sometimes she is you and is also your only friend. So there are other, like, not examples, but instances of descriptions relating to this, and it's closely, you can connect this very quote here, or at the very least, your only friend, as death. I don't think she represents death, though. She just said she is the arbiter of fate, or at least she lives in a world where concepts like fate and possibility can be made visible. So that's interesting. I don't know if she's also related to death either. What happens if I execute her? She has nothing. Okay, what happens if I resurrect? Wait, what? Whoa, hold on, what? By continuing to think I live on for all eternity, in other words, if I stop thinking I can die any time. By continuing to think I live on for all eternity. In other words, if I stop thinking I can die any time. I kind of understand where she's coming from with this, because there's a saying that when people die, you want to be remembered, or they want to be remembered, because if you remember them, they will always live on forever. That's their way of living forever, because they will never be forgotten. So I get that. In other words, if I stop thinking I can die anytime, however, I can revive whenever I want if I start thinking again. That's a very odd thing. Okay, however, I can revive whenever I want if I start thinking again. If I stop thinking, I can die anytime. So I'm fickle and inconstant. I live as I like, die as I like, revive as I like. So she has full control over her whole life. She can die and revive anytime she wants. So why is she afraid of the witch? Resurrect. Anything new here? Alright, so far, this was pretty interesting. So it gave me a little bit more insight into what happened during the episode 1 deaths. It didn't give me a lot, but the one that surprised me the most was, I know all the kids died, but I'm pretty sure I read here Maria wrote a letter. Like, the years went by, everyone else died but her. She wrote a letter at the end credit scene stating for help to solve the riddle. Or to, end this madness or whatever. I need to rewatch that again because I'm fairly certain it was her. But then it said she died, right? No, she's just missing. So she didn't die. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Alright. Alright, so let me check out the tips now. I'm of the belief that the character section here went over episode 1 for us, because since I'm still in episode 2, I'm pretty sure new stuff will pop up once I complete episode 2. What tips do you have to offer me? Episode 1 tips. Epitaph of the Portrait. I think I read this one. Yeah, this is the epitaph itself. But why do they consider it a tip, though? Letter from the Witch. Welcome to the Rokenjima, ladies and gentlemen, of the Ushinomiya family. I am Beatrice, the alchemist for this family. Under the employ of Kinzo-sama, I have served him for many years in accordance with our contract, but today, Kinzo-sama has announced the termination of that contract. Therefore, I ask that you acknowledge my resignation from the position of family alchemist as of today. And now there is one part of the contract that I must explain to you all. I, Beatrice, lent Kinzo-sama a vast quantity of gold under certain terms. One of these terms specifies that all the gold is to be returned to me upon the termination of the contract. Furthermore, I am to receive everything of the Ushinomiya family as interest. After hearing this, you may feel as though Kinzo-sama has been savagely ruthless. However, Kinzo-sama did append a special clause to the contract so that you would have a chance to preserve your wealth and honor. If and only if that special clause is fulfilled, I will lose my rights to the gold and interest for all eternity. Special clause. Beatrice has the right to collect the gold and accumulated interest upon the termination of the contract. However, if someone is able to discover the hidden gold of this contract, Beatrice must abandon these rights for all time. The collection of the interest will proceed shortly, but if any one of you fulfills the terms of this special clause, I shall return everything, including the portion that has already been collected. Furthermore, as the first step in this collection of Kinzo-sama's debt, I have taken possession of the Ushinomiya family's head ring, which signifies the passage of the Ushinomiya family headship from one individual to another. I ask that you confirm this for yourselves by examining the imprint on the wax seal. Kinzo-sama had already publicly displayed the location of the hidden gold within the epitaph under my portrait. The rules apply equally to all who can read the epitaph. If you discover the gold, I shall return everything to you. Tonight I ask that you enjoy your battle of wits with Kinzo-sama to the fullest. I sincerely pray that this night will be both intellectual and elegant. Beatrice the Golden. And what's number 2? I remember that. Are you enjoying the riddle of Kinzo-sama's epitaph? As you are all probably aware, you have very little time remaining. Please abandon any naive hopes of escaping after the storm passes. This game can only end with my victory or yours. When time runs out, I will win by default. There will be no ties. Make sure that you do not misunderstand your current situation. Alright. Kraus died on the first twilight, chosen by the key. Sacrifice. Yeah, they're the sacrifices. Yep, Kirie, Rosa, Shannon, Goda, Ava. Okay, well. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yep. And Ava and Hideyoshi were killed by an ice pick to the forehead. Stake of Beelzebub, Asmodeus. Ushinomiya Kinzo died on the fourth twilight, stake of Mamon. Okay. Kanon, stake. Really? I didn't know about that. Genji died, stake of Loot. I wouldn't have guessed that. Okay. Belphegor, okay. Leviathan. Kumasawa had it worse. The Witch. Revived in the ninth twilight, she will finally open the door to the Golden Land. Alright. Natsuhi died by a gunshot wound, obviously, or possibly shooting herself, but I'm pretty sure the Witch reflected the bullets or whatever. George accepted the Witch, prostrated himself, and was invited to the Golden Land. Jessica prostrated herself, Golden Land. Maria, obviously, she loves and worships her, so yep. Battler, missing. On the 10th twilight, he denies the existence of the Witch. Will she invite him to the Golden Land? Well, they're currently in limbo, duking it out. Very weird prospect. Sawed-off rifle, Kinzo spec. a sawed-off, cut barrel custom version of a certain rifle which was a popular bestseller during the Wild West. The modification dramatically increases the portability and old-school charm in exchange for a devastating drop in range. In addition, consecutive shots can be fired as quickly as a pistol if one works the lever action skillfully enough. Furthermore, the one-handed reload made possible by its characteristic lever handle should be irresistible for any true lover of old westerns. To match Kinzo's personal preferences, it was made to handle .45 long Colt bullets. The gun holds 4+1 shots. It's the 7 Stakes of Purgatory. Oh, this is a long one. Okay. The stakes contain the 7 magics that represent the 7 deadly sins. They bury into the desired location on the target with unparalleled accuracy, following the user's orders. Since they flit about in ultra-high speeds and change their trajectories freely by bouncing off walls and the like, they have no blind spots and will hit their targets without fail no matter what form of cover they might be hiding behind. Additionally, their power can be turned to the part of the body they will strike. Extremely powerful as weapons, but they cannot target pure people who have not committed one of the 7 deadly sins, or those who have strong resistance to magical power. So, they said that the family, or at least Battler in particular, maybe even George and Jessica, they don't have strong psychic wavelengths or spiritual wavelengths that can have them attuned to the supernatural. So, does that mean they're also weak to the 7 Stakes of Purgatory? Or are they somewhat immune because they are ignorant? Sometimes ignorance has power. I don't know. The Grimoire. Honorifics. Oh, these are the... I think these are all the words that were in green. Or maybe not. I know Japanese has suffixes called honorifics. Yeah, I know that. Words for family members. I know that. What is this? Derived from Namu Amida Butsu, a Buddhist prayer meaning I follow the Amida Buddha. It is also known as the Nembutsu, often heard in contracted forms like Namaida or Namuna Mu. Is recited to express mindfulness of Buddha. The passing of a relative, this sutra is often chanted to express thankfulness and knowledge that the dead have been allowed into Amida's pure land, paradise. Most Japanese funerals are conducted as Buddhist ceremonies, and Japanese culture in general is full of rituals and religious customs. But it is common to participate in these traditions regardless of one's own personal religious belief. The country is largely secular. Jessica's speech. In Japanese, men and women have traditionally, or perhaps stereotypically, speak differently, and this difference is much larger than what you find in English. Jessica's speech is masculine, blunt, casual, and assertive. In Japanese, this is quite evident in a majority of her lines using assertive and traditionally male particles like and casual slangy contractions. You can tell Jessica has a masculine dialogue. It's her character. She's a tomboy. And let's see. Okay, so these are the tips. Alright, we're good. Alright, so we went over everything. What's the picture box? The Golden Witch has gifted you with a picture box. I hope you will stop by to view as a memento. Let's check it out. Oh, these are the scenes I've seen so far. Ah, got you. Alright. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, guys. So, we learned a little bit. Not a lot, but just slightly more insight into what was going on with some of the characters after they died, thanks to the whole execute and revive. The revive didn't do much of anything at the moment. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to keep revisiting the character description menu after each episode. Or, I got a tip from someone in the comment section that told me that I should check out the character description after Battler discovers a body. So I'll do that over time as the series progresses. So if anything else, guys, thank you again. This is pretty much, like I said, a grace period from the series, just to give you insights to what's going on, and also to those that were curious about the character description, the tips, and whatnot. So we're going to continue on again in the next one. So once again, thank you all for watching, I will probably have more to say and more theories to come about once we get into the series further. Because right now I'm still just like figuring things out. There's a lot going on in this series, and like it's easy to say there's magic involved because like we are literally seeing like the spiritual character, the spiritual halves of the characters in a tea party after they died. And then we currently have Battler and the Witch battling each other in another realm, the Purgatory realm, Nether realm, whatever you want to go about it. And as episode 2 is going, so one can easily assume, and one can't blame that person, if we can easily say that magic does exist, and Battler is just in denial. But again, there's so much to go, anything can happen. This is like an incredible series thus far. It's one of the reasons why I'm still continuing reading it, and like, I just can't stop, guys. It's great. It's a lot different from Fata Morgana, but it's just as interesting and enjoyable. So if anything else, again, thank you for listening on to my rants and whatnot, guys. We'll continue on in the next one.